One, two, three. Osiris Lord here, the Lord under the scope, and we're gonna talk about some mental health stuff today. That's the topic. Just wanted to start by saying, I'm sorry, I be taking mad long, but it's just my life. I be going through it, thinking I'm not going through it, but I'm going through it like everybody else. I ain't here to give you no sad story or nothing like that. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to just jump into what we gonna talk about today, because if we don't do that, I'm gonna be rambling. And like I said, today's topic's gonna be mental health. And the 7 types of mental disorders that we got are anxiety disorders, mood disorders, psychotic disorders, eating disorders, personality disorders, dementia, and autism. Now, some of you are probably very familiar with some of these, and some of you are potentially going through some of these things yourself, especially autism. A lot of people have family members who have autism. We may see people with personality disorders. I believe that's DID. Some people have DID. Some people just have regular personality disorders, eating disorders. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, excuse me if I'm wrong. But anorexia. Let's see. We got some eating disorders. Oh, there's actually a symbol and everything. Yeah, I was gonna say bulimia. So just eating disorder. Are behavioral conditions characterized by severe and persistent disturbance in eating behaviors and associated, people potentially who eat and can't keep it in their stomach. They throw up, things of the nature. But anyway, mental disorders, mental health, a lot of things that people don't talk about. I'm going to try to keep this out of the format of a bougie YouTube person. We're just going to keep it real live, So a lot of us go through mental disorders, mental illnesses, and may not even know. We're super moody. We may just chalk it up to being, Osiris is moody today, blase blah. But realistically, I'm going through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even lie to you. I be going through it. 1 minute I'm hyper. 1 minute I'm like not depressed. I don't really think I'd be depressed. Or at least I'm not as depressed as the next person, because I have like a pretty lovely life. Not to brag or anything. I don't really have like real responsibilities and stuff like that. I kind of just have like fake responsibilities. As long as my rent is paid every month, and like I speak to like my mother at least 100 times a month, everything's pretty good. But other than that, life is pretty good. But sometimes I get really bored, and my boredness just makes me feel like, what is there to do? Why do I keep waking up? And then I just start trying to do all these creative things and starting projects and not finishing them, and then come back to it a year later, and most of the time I'm just kind of like, dude, let's do this, let's do that. And I get discouraged that my friend doesn't want to do that. And then I just kind of like, I don't even know what I'm rambling about. You know what I'm saying? All I know is that I'm bipolar. You know what I'm saying? I would say, I'm gonna straight up tell y'all like this. You know what I'm saying? There's different types of, like mental illness is such an I don't even know. It's not underrated. It's not spoken about enough by a lot of different communities, especially the Black community, or at least it's not. Basically, instead of us talking about the drip, the swag, all of this, because most people don't even got no swag, So yeah, I might as well just get the swag up and start talking about mental health. Anyway, I'm gonna just straight up say I'm bipolar. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-diagnosed. I never went to the doctor or nothing, but like one thing I do know about myself is I'm bipolar for sure. And just because I don't be yelling at people don't mean that I'm not bipolar or I have, tendencies to be bipolar. So people with bipolar experience both episodes of severe depression and episodes of mania, overwhelming joy, excitement, or happiness, huge energy, a reduced need for sleep, and reduce inhibitions. The experience of bipolar is uniquely personal. No two people have exactly the same experience. So you see Kanye how Kanye is very, I'm on top of the world, and then it's like nobody's listening to me, and I'm crying on TV, but nobody gives a fuck, and like that's bipolar. That is bipolar. I relate to Kanye so much, and people. I mean, aside from fashion and style and all that stuff, people probably wouldn't think that I relate to Kanye. I relate to Kanye in so many ways. It's disgusting. He's not like necessarily my idol or like any type of person that I'm just kind of like, yo, dude, like, I want to be like Kanye. But I see so many things in Kanye that I relate to that it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Even the things that people don't like about Kanye, people be like, I don't like this about Kanye. I be sitting in the background mad quiet. Like, I totally agree with that. So there are actually different types of bipolar disorder. So they have like bipolar 1. Bipolar 1 disorder is the most common of the 4 types. Bipolar 2 disorder is characterized by the shifting between the less severe hypomaniac episodes and depressive episodes. They have BP3. Let me just go into something more descriptive. But basically, BP3 is called like cyclothymic disorder, defined by periods of hypomaniac symptoms as well as periods of depressive symptoms lasting for at least 2 years. 1 year in children and adolescents. However, the symptoms do not meet the diagnostic requirements for a hypomaniac episode and depressive episode. So basically, like, that one's kind of like, I feel like you could be depressed. I mean, you can be hypomaniac. You can be like on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? And then like be depressed. But I feel like the depression is not necessarily so severe as, as someone who was like, oh, I'm super happy. Now I'm depressed. Like I kind of feel like I get super happy, or at least I used to get super happy. And then it would be like depressed, but I understand that like I'm just depressed because of something I am expecting, if that makes sense. Like if you make clothes and stuff like that and you release it and you're on top of the world, oh yeah, I just created this whole like clothing line and all these things, and then it's time to sell it and then nobody buys it and you get depressed, but you're not necessarily like end of the world depressed, or you're not angry or anything. You're just kind of like, wow, like this sucks. Like I feel like I'm totally in that vibe a lot of the time. But then it got to a point where I just didn't care, which is kind of like where I am right now. I kind of feel like I'm in a state where like I just don't really care. And it's not like, I mean, technically I guess I am depressed, but I'm not depressed like, oh, I'm sad, I'm crying. I'm just kind of like, I don't feel like talking to you. I don't really feel like answering your text. You're saying something not important. I don't care about like making clothes. I don't care about making music. I don't care about necessarily what you're doing. And it's not like disrespectfully or anything. It's just kind of like I just don't care. I feel like I'm 30 years old. I spent so much time like building up a certain type of vibe or like character or just my life. I don't really view myself as a character. I kind of just view myself as a person who develops and transitions a lot throughout my life. And I feel like with learning and just growing as a human being, why would you want to remain the same person all the time? Like, you can have your general principles. I feel like you can be like, I'm gonna have my morals and values and things like that, but I don't necessarily feel like you have to remain the same person. And also, why would you want to remain the same person? Why would you want to even be quote unquote normal? Apparently being normal is actually being like the odd one. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know me as a person, I'm very observant, I'm very quiet, I'm very calm, I'm very collective. I don't really speak until I have something important to say, or just kind of like I just don't speak. I just feel like if I'm in a room, I don't know any of these people. It's not antisocial. It's just kind of like I'm gonna speak when I'm spoken to or when I have something of relevance. I don't need to be the highlight of the party where everybody's like, look at me, talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Actually, actually, you don't deserve to talk to me, and I potentially don't deserve to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're talking. I'm just saying, like, that's how life is now. That's how life should be. It's kind of like you get into all this, you meet somebody, start blabbing, blah, 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 blah. I do this, I do that, I do this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, one, they don't even care. Two, you're overwhelming them. Three, like, now they're going to pick something that you said that potentially isn't even important, and they're going to crown you as that person. This is the photographer guy. You know what I'm saying? Just because you had a camera that day, and now you're the photographer guy. So anyway, when it comes to first time meeting people, I don't even really, like, talk to people like that, because your first impression, sure, blah, 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 but just also, like, why do you need to, unless you're at a function, unless you're at something that's like, okay, I want to mix up and talk to all these people. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling, getting off point. So anyway, so I kind of just feel like, yeah, right now I'm at a point, me personally, where I kind of just don't care, and that's okay. Like, it is okay if you don't care. It's all right. You don't have to be. My personal mood right now is like, I haven't really been on social media like that. I haven't really even been outside. I mean, I've been, washing my ass and all of that type of stuff, but I'm just saying, like, I haven't really been trying to engage. I haven't been going and reaching out to people like I usually do, or like, showing people how to do things on Instagram or social media, just outgoing and telling people you can do it too, because, like, I just kind of don't feel like it. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a quick overview of just where I'm at. Excuse me. Okay, we back on deck. So yeah, that's just kind of like where I am as far as mental health. Like, I'm good. I just kind of don't care. Sure, if you reach out to me, I'll definitely contact and talk to you back. Hold on. So basically, okay, because there's actually a word. There's a word. Okay, I just Googled it. What is the feeling of I don't care? Feeling as if you don't care about anything anymore may be related to anhedonia or apathy. Anhedonia is a mental state in which people have an inability to feel pleasure. It is often a symptom of mental health conditions such as depression, bipolar disorder, and substance use. Now, like I said, I am bipolar. I know that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad word. If y'all know me, you know I'm not, like, angry. So, like, you can tell sometimes, like, okay, Osiris is off, but my off compared to someone else's off is like, I'm just a little quiet, as opposed to being like, yo, what's up? Y'all want to go do this? Or like, I might not want to roll a blunt. Like, it's nothing extreme for me where it's like, oh, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. It's just today. It's nothing that extreme. And if you don't know me, you probably won't even know, like, I'm upset or like I'm just not feeling it today. And honestly, 10 times out of 10, I'm just not going to come outside unless I'm, like, required to do so, or I have some sort of thing that I said I was going to do. But anyway, yeah. So I just kind of feel like I'm not depressed. I'm not angry. It's just I'm not really feeling the ways I used to, as far as, like, I mean, I kind of feel like I've always been introverted versus extrovert, and I've just been a highly functioning. I feel like I've just been always a highly functioning productive person, despite the mood or situation I'm in, because I know I have to progress forward. Like, I kind of just built myself up to be like a robot after a while, because super long story short, this is for another day. Like, before, I used to be super narcissistic. If you know me and you're watching this and you know me from, like, literally, like, maybe like 7 years ago, not even that long ago, even some within the last couple years, who knows? I personally don't feel like I've been a jerk the last couple years, but who knows? People might think I may have been a jerk. But anyway, you know that I was actually really a jerk. So I worked on a lot of stuff. What do they call it? Shadow work. I call it shadow boxer. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Shaolin shadow boxing to the soul. You dig? Anyway, so I worked on myself, you know what I'm saying? Got a little bit better mentally, physically, all of these types of things. And now I'm up to the point where I feel like, yeah, I can control my emotions, but I can control my emotions so well and stuff like that that it feels like I'm a robot sometimes. And sometimes I kind of just very rarely. It's been recently that I've been experiencing this because I can still control my emotions and all that stuff. But basically, what I'm saying is, I've just kind of done such a good job that, like, it's annoying for me to, like, kind of leak out feelings and things like that. You know, like, I get confused when I get overwhelmed. I get confused when I'm overstimulated. I get confused when, like, I don't know what to do, you know? And, like, I don't necessarily not know what to do as far as, like, my thought process and my productivity and or my just like my life. I usually know what to do in my life. So when something happens to me mentally where I just can't figure something out, or like I just start feeling really sad for no reason, or like I just don't care, I get kind of confused and it freaks me out, which is basically what is happening right now. Now, again, I don't necessarily feel like I'm depressed. I mean, I don't really, like, I'm kicked back right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have, my bills are paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not necessarily like boo hoo depressed. I just really don't know and I don't really care. And every time I think about doing something as far as creativity or like, you know, just life, or I don't know, just reaching out to people, I feel like overwhelmed and exhausted. Like, I don't feel like doing that. And then I just kind of am like, all right, I'm not doing it. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I'm just very glad. And I feel like, basically, super long story short, I'm glad that I'm not having to reach out to people. You realize your friends and all that. Again, my friends personally, I know my friends aren't reaching out to me like that because, like, they got things going on and they understand me as a human being. Like, I need my space, and that I'm always going to come back and be like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? Or whoever, you know what I'm saying? And everything's going to be normal. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people, they become unnormal or whatever unnormal is. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm saying they freak out on their friends and all, and then they can't go back. And I'm just kind of like, yo, bro, give me a second. I need to breathe. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this. If you know me, I'm polyamorous, which is, again, another conversation. So I be dating multiple people, having to, like, Osiris it up with 3 different types of personalities, and then not really have anybody to talk to about it, which is fine, but sometimes I guess I've been finding that my brain versus my body have been 2 totally different things, if that makes any sense at all. So, and I say that to say, like, my body has been reacting differently to what my mind is thinking, if that makes sense. So I will think in my brain everything is fine. Meanwhile, my body is like, bro, I'm tweaking. I'm overstimulated. What's going on, bro? You didn't even drink water today. Today you smoked 100 times. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, but in my brain, I'm like, I can handle this. You know, you're like, it's not for me. I mean, again, I don't want to, like, you know, I said the smoking thing, but I'm not feeling any type of way because of substance abuse. Like, I don't necessarily condone, like, hard drugs and all that stuff, but, like, people got to do what they got to do as long as you're safe and you know what you got to do. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about. My mind and my brain, I mean, I guess really whatever, my brain, my mind or whatever, and my body haven't been, like, going together lately. I've been finding a lot of stuff since I've turned 30. I mean, I guess it's been developing over the years or whatever, but this year, as I'm 30, I've been discovering a lot more things about myself and my body that maybe, I don't know, since I've been so like forward and like, for example, I can walk miles. You know what I'm saying? I can walk miles in one direction, but that's because I have to. I'm very big on being a survivalist, and I had to be a survivalist over the last couple of years of my life because I just had so many things going on that, you know, you don't really have a choice but to push forward. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All my creatives and whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like if you choose a certain lifestyle, you know you got to do what you got to do. And that's what I did. So anyway, I'm not even going to keep this super long. I just kind of wanted to talk about where I was at mentally right now. Physically, I'm still out here, same spot, thinking about moving pretty soon. I've kind of been getting rid of a lot of things in my closet, so I've been trying to get a little bit of money so I can get a car, maybe get a like right now I have a suite or whatever apartment, and I'm trying to just maybe get a bigger space. I have I don't have a house, but I basically have a house out in California too. But I went there recently, and the peacefulness, because I don't really have neighbors. I have like donkeys and like bobcats and like stuff like that, like Ozark style stuff. But to make money, I have to be over here in the city or whatnot. But anyway, I went over there recently and I was just kind of like, wow, like now that I'm not trying to do the most in the world, I feel at peace over here in like the rural area versus like the city that I'm in right now. Whatever. My point is, this is where I'm at right now. This is why you ain't really see me. I've been trying to get everything back to basic, trying to unglamorize my life, I guess, and come back to basics since it's the start of my 30 to 40. I guess. You know, you just need some new stuff. Anyway, this is the Lord Under the Scope. I'm gonna definitely be having more episodes, especially since you see how chill it is. As long as my production doesn't take too much work, you know, you'll be able to get a lot of episodes, and it doesn't really feel like it's a lot of work right now. So peace and love. I hope y'all make sure y'all had a great day. Make sure you look up some mental illnesses. Make sure you're reaching out to your friends. Your friends sometimes just want a hello, what's up, how are you? They don't need a whole conversation. They just want to make sure you know that they're alive. Like, subscribe, however you heard this, share this with a friend. I'll definitely be talking about some more mental illness things in the upcoming episodes or what have you. So peace out, y'all. Have a good one.